The Houston Rockets could be interested in Kylie Irving. That, according to the latest reports. If Houston and James Harden do not work out a deal for him to return to the Rockets, that could reportedly make the Rockets make a run at Kyrie to be their next point guard. Shannon, what does this tell you?
Kyrie's going to have his suitors, Skip. It just depends on what he's looking for. I don't know if a title contending team will have the capital, the cap, to get Kyrie, or I don't know if they're interested in having Kyrie. Dallas and Houston aren't contending. Even if he goes back to Houston, even if he goes back to Dallas with a Luka, they're not a contending team. They're damn sure not a contending team with that young core in Houston. When you look at all their guys, Jalen Green, Sungin, Jabari Smith Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., Kenyon Martin Jr. Mm-hmm. Skip, those guys are probably 22 and younger. They're not contending. And we know remember last time Kyrie had a really, really young core? That was called the Boston Celtics.
Yep.
How did that work out? It didn't work out very well. So he'll have his suitors. I just don't know if there's a contending team out there. I don't see one on the horizon that has the cap that says, okay, yeah, Kyrie, come on in. We know the Dallas Mavericks can offer him the most money because they can give him that 5th year. We know everybody else, the best he can do is a 4-year deal. Now, if somebody's going to give him 4 years and max him out, he's probably going there whether it's a contender or not. Kyrie, the basketball player, is phenomenal, but a lot of times he finds himself in headlines with things other to do than basketball. Yeah. So teams are weighing that versus Kyrie, the basketball player, the immensely talented, skilled player, versus some of the things that come along with him off the court.
Okay. Here's what I believe is happening behind the scenes in Houston, Texas. They have a new coach.
Yes.
His name is Ime Udoka. He transformed that Celtics roster into a viable playoff contender that got all the way to Game 6 of the NBA Finals.
Correct.
He had an issue. He paid for it. He's the new head coach in Houston. Mm-hmm. To your point, do I like Jalen Green? Yeah, I like him a lot. Do I like Şengün? Yeah, he's impressed me. The more I watch him, the more I like him. Jabari Smith wasn't great, but he's pretty good. Kevin Porter Jr., Kenyon Martin Jr., they have some young talent. Emphasis on young. I know what's happening behind the scenes. Ime Udoka, who sat at the right hand of God the Father Almighty, Greg Popovich, for all those years in San Antonio, I kept saying, why didn't he get a job? Because he looks the part, he acts the part. Okay. He is saying, you got to give me one bona fide proven star here. Because without it, we don't have any chance. Right. We're going to be right back in the lottery. We're going to be picking again. Give me somebody. And I'm sure somebody is pushing back upstairs, maybe all the way to the top to the owner. Kyrie, yeah. It's like, Kyrie, he can be a disaster. Trust me, Ime's saying, I can handle Kyrie. Give me Kyrie. Well, I'll make it work.
Are you willing to give up one or two of these young players and try to get you a more proven player to pair with Kyrie?
Okay, but right now Kyrie is free, right? He's a free agent, so
but
you're
gonna have to move. But Skip, in order for them to be a true contender, they're gonna have to add. They're gonna have to give up one of these pieces and maybe go get a more proven commodity.
Okay, maybe you could do that, but Ime's going to want to go older. Give me James Harden again. I'm out on James.
Why would you want James Harden and Kyrie?
No, I'm just saying one.
Get one of them.
Their primary focus seems to be on just signing James. He's free also, right? Because James is beloved at Houston. He's got the track record, and again, the beauty of this is we keep talking about it, but this is still Texas. It's Dallas and Houston, Texas, which has no state tax. So you can hit the lottery with your max deal in Dallas or Houston.
8% on $250 million, 8% on any kind of million.
Yes, thank you. We know. we can attest.
We do know.
Painfully know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the point is, I'm sure Ime is saying, I can handle James Harden. I can get him in better shape and keep him in better shape because Ime does not play. Mm-hmm. He is imposing. He's 6 feet 8 inches tall. He played in this league, not at the James level, but he was a high-level defense, like a stopper. Yeah. Somebody who would just get up into you and play physical defensive basketball. That's what he teaches. That's what he coaches. They're not going to love it because it's not fun in the beginning until you start winning.
Of the teams that are contenders, do you see a team on the horizon that's a contender that would be interested in Kyrie's services?
Well, again, I wouldn't, because you keep okay, what happened in Boston? What happened in Brooklyn? What started happening in Dallas? Because it didn't work.
Right.
They didn't work together. For whatever reason, I don't know, they tried to make Kyrie the closer.
Right.
It did not work between the two of them, because they went, as you know, from the 4th seed to the 11th seed.
Yeah, they fell out of the play-in.
They fell completely out of the play-in with Kyrie there.
Right.
Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right.
But Mark Cuban's stuck. He swung and missed on the Jalen Brunson. We've been over and over it. He has no choice. He's got to re-sign Kyrie as a gate attraction.
Right.
You got to have some reason for people to watch.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm hearing little stuff, whispers about maybe Dame to Miami.
Okay.
Would Kyrie be a better fit in Miami than Dame?
You could argue that culture would be a better, it would keep him between the lines better. You just can't let him run amok, because his priority is not basketball.
Right.
And yet, boy, Kyrie, I say this about Kyrie and James. Boy, it's good work if you can get it. Well, they're aging players now who've not shown you much track record of success, except for Kyrie and LeBron. That's the only time it worked.
They've shown you individual success, but not a whole lot of team success.
Except what LeBron did with Kyrie. And I keep telling you, I hark back, I look back, I tried to replay history.
That might be LeBron's greatest accomplishment.
It was. It's hard. And yet, all the stories about Kyrie during that playoff run that year, distant, aloof, impossible, didn't communicate with anybody, including LeBron. Well, how did LeBron keep it together? Do you give Ty Lue some credit for keeping the team together?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. They made it work, but they were down 3-1 when they made it work.
What about Kyrie to the Clippers? Paul George, Kawhi.
Okay. All right. I got it. But you're right. He is such a valuable commodity because he's still got the best handles in the league. There's nothing like him. I saw it in Dallas.
He averaged 27, 5, and 6 in his 20 games with Dallas.
Okay.
So he's a legit 25-point guy a night. Can get you 5, 6 rebounds.
Okay.
He's not that big of an assist guy.
And he and Luka together went 5 and 11. You love that?
No, hell no.
All right. So the point is, just stay on Houston. I get where they're going. They're like, we've been in the shadows of Dallas and San Antonio for years, right? How long has it been? It's been forever. So it's back to the James days.
But it's good. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Kyrie comes there with that young core. How much does he change life?
That's all about.
Maybe the games are more entertaining.
Okay.
But are they a playoff team? Do you believe the Rockets are a playoff team with Kyrie?
Okay, here's the better question. Who was the coach in Boston when Kyrie wanted to go to Boston and arrived in Boston? It was the man who hired Ime. It's Brad Stevens, right? He's milquetoasty. I think he's a better GM than he is a head coach in this league, because he clearly didn't play basketball, and I don't think he generates much locker room respect. He knows basketball. He's a good X's and O's guy. But, hey, Ime is the real deal, where he is such a commanding presence that he would say, I'll make it work with Kyrie and the young guys. I'll be the leader of the team.
So you believe, again, do you believe they are a playoff team as young as they are with Kyrie?
I think with Ime as the head coach, I think they could be the back. The problem is the West the more I look at it, I'm saying, whew.
Yeah. Golden State's going to come back.
They're going to come back with something.
The Nuggets are not going anywhere.
They're not going. They're only going. And we had Jamal saying yesterday, Joker's going to get better. There's going to be some nights going forward where he dominates from start to finish.
Yes.
Well, how can I disagree with that?
The Lakers, they get a piece. They'll be improved.
They're going to be
Memphis,
a factor.
how can they tread water until they get Ja back?
Okay.
Minnesota made another step. They made the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Phoenix Suns, they'll have a year with KD in camp.
Yeah.
They'll be better.
Okay. Is Wemby going to be that guy? I saw it was the first game of their finals in France. He had 8 points, and I watched the highlights, and wasn't that impressive.
Right.
Okay, so is he going to put San Antonio back on the map, make them viable? All right. So, but the point is, I believe in Ime Udoka, and I believe what he could do with either Kyrie or James. Whatever you can get out of them, the best you can get, he would get.
Get it out of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those 2 first-round draft picks look pretty good, too.
Yeah.
That always helps. All right, guys, let's get back to the playoffs, the finals, when we return. Do you think the Heat are up for the challenge to force a Game 6? Personally, I'm not ready for the playoffs to be over yet. Let's get your predictions on the other side of this break.